Hi.
Hey.
It's been another 6 months.
Oops.
That's exactly what you said on the December one. You said oops.
Oops.
Yeah, so I have had people reaching out to me asking what's going on with the movie.
Here's how I've been describing it to people when I am giving them updates. Every 2 weeks, we have about 1/4 of an update.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could tell you this one piece of news, and then they ask 3 extremely logical follow-up questions, and I don't have answers for any of them.
But we actually have a lot of answers now.
Enough accumulations of this.
Now we actually have a release date for the movie that comes out this year. I'm gonna tell you some very interesting things, mostly actually about like deliverables. You think you know what you have to deliver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last update on YouTube was in December. Let's talk about what happened from December until now, like last week. January 24th, first official offer comes through, several back and forths, and then on February 27th, no contract yet. This is us discussing terms.
Yeah. 2 months in.
2 months in. They also request a censored version without the nudity. We were like, can we give you, are you interested in with the nudity version? They're like, sure, but we also want the censored version. Some streamers or some like companies, streaming companies, this is who they usually distribute movies to. Apple, Prime, Vudu, which is now Fandango, at home. Not your subscription streamers. Those ones are the ones that are post VOD. The VOD window is for people to rent and buy the movie. Once people have rented and bought the movie, bought, then after that window closes, they start taking it to streamers. And like Tubi can buy it for a certain amount of time, license it for a certain amount of time, or your Hulu or your Netflix. Netflix, I mean, guys, don't be waiting for Netflix on this thing, okay? That ain't gonna happen. And I would love to be on Tubi. I love Tubi.
To be.
Or not to be. That is the question. We will find out.
We will find out.
Yes. With the deliverables and a censored version, I did not want to change the runtime at all. Instead, what I did is I did it at like an obvious crop in past the nudity. Like right up to the nudity.
There's no wiggle room.
There's no wiggle room. Like I cropped in on the image. It kind of looks like you're watching it on TNT.
That's what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a TV edit of the movie. Yeah. But that look, I actually kind of like a lot. I prefer the uncensored version of the movie. And our UK, we'll get into all this, but the UK distributor never asked for a censored version of the movie. So it's all uncensored over there.
Yeah.
We'll see what ends up being distributed in the US, what streamers just choose. They can have either. They're gonna choose.
They got choices.
That was February 27th. March 8th, they send over their list of deliverables. It's called a deliverable schedule. And it's my first time seeing what it actually takes to deliver a movie. Okay. Here are the big ones where I was like, okay, I need to learn how to do this now.
Yeah.
A ProRes 4K master of the movie, okay? In the ProRes master of the movie, they are going to want 5.1 audio, a stereo mix, and a stereo M&E all multiplexed to the same file. So that is a single video file with 10 tracks of audio in it, all in one MOV container.
Man, the audio post has been...
It's been a journey.
It's been a whole thing.
M&E is music and effects track. No dialogue. Okay, fine, easy enough, right? You just mute all the dialogue. No, because not so fast. This is for dubbing into other languages, and they don't want to have to do any Foley. So a lot of that stuff you did not replace in your English language track because it's in the boom mic. We are talking footsteps, we're talking doors, hand claps, pats on the back, you lean on the table. Anything that when you're watching it without the dialogue, you're like, oh, that would actually make a sound.
You did a lot of this yourself.
Handling the phones.
Also, Andrew Ford.
Andrew Ford did a great job labeling everything. He was our sound mixer, our location sound mixer, labeling everything.
Getting a lot of room tone.
Yep,
Yeah.
all the stuff he delivered was absolutely a necessity for the M&E track. I would take all of his stuff, anything that people weren't talking, I would just, boom, take it from the movie, put it in there. But then all the other stuff, like where dialogue is happening, I did a bunch of footsteps. I did all of the like tapping, all of the things. It took me 2 weeks of nights to get the M&E tracks in place. I'm really glad I got the deliverable schedule.
Before we actually needed to start delivering the deliverables.
Yeah, then DCP for cinema projection. They ask for this whether they are going to do a theatrical or not.
Our first DCP we paid for.
Yeah, that was for our cast and crew screening.
That was for our cast and crew screening, but then once Jake was looking down the barrel of DCPs for deliverables, you were like,
time to figure this out. And for most places, it's very surprising to me that they're not asking for a 4K DCP either. Most places would rather have a 2K DCP. Maybe just because it takes up less space or something and nobody can tell the difference. I mean, I think that's basically what it comes down to. Easy to ingest, easy to, you know.
Yeah.
They want an encrypted DCP, and then you deliver the decryption key.
Well, this was exciting too, because you would never know if your encrypted DCP worked until you delivered the decryption code and waited for them to not ever say anything.
Yeah, I couldn't really test it. And then when I sent it over to them, they were able to decrypt it. So I was like, yeah. Let me tell you this, DCP-O-Matic is a godsend. It's a free program. You just download it. The user manual is very helpful, plus there are a few like Reddit or communities and other kind of communities. You will need to deliver a trailer with all these same audio specifications as well, these same things. They want a 4K, they want a 1080 version. Next, dialogue list. You will need to deliver either a dialogue list, please hope for a dialogue list, or a CCSL. This is called a combined continuity and spotting list for a feature. A dialogue list is basically just like an industry formatted version of your closed captions. It's got all the times.
Which you'd already done, the closed captions.
I did the closed captions.
Before we had a deliverables list, part of your post-production process.
Yeah, I just did those in Premiere. It was a lot of typing, but it was worth it. And all the timings are exactly where I'd want them to.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes reveals will show up ahead of time in the captions, and I don't want that. I want the captions to reflect the timing that we had from script to production, through post-production. We preserved timings of information delivery through that whole process. I'm not gonna let it fall apart on the captions, okay? Getting a formatted dialogue list for like an 82-minute feature, a few $100s, not the worst thing in the world. No. A CCSL is a timed list of all of the dialogue and every action that appears in the movie. In-depth stage direction. It is hundreds of pages at the end of it. It's all the timings, all of the timings associated with all of these things. It takes 2 weeks to get it. I'm surprised they can do it in 2 weeks. That's crazy. A professional company can turn it around in 2 weeks. And it costs almost $2,000 for an 82-minute feature, which is a short movie. And it is fine because all of our distributors were like, a dialogue list is okay.
Yeah.
So we were able to get away with a dialogue list. And since we never changed the timings of anything, this is one of those things where if you censored the movie and changed the timings of if you cut stuff out and changed all the timings, you would have to get a brand new dialogue list, or no way, CCSL.
Yeah. So this is where it's like, we wanted to make sure that, Jake, wanted to make sure that the runtime stayed the same, whether it's censored or uncensored.
Yeah, we'd have to be paying double for these things, and no thank you. Because we are taking care of all the costs of all the deliverables.
Yes.
That's part of the indie thing.
Yeah.
Then you need a Photoshop file of your poster artwork, your main marketing. Ben just shipped it over, easy peasy, no probs. Then you need 50 or more high resolution stills.
That was me.
That was Eliza.
I pulled, I think, 100 stills from the movie.
All the characters in different situations, the most visually appealing versions out of all the scenes, everything. And those are used for marketing, of course. And also, well, Netflix does it. I don't know if any of the other streamers do it, but they keep changing the thumbnail. So like if you've seen it before, you don't glaze past it. So that's one of those things where they probably just take, here are 25 high resolution stills, toss the title on it, this actor, that actor, this interesting thing, and they just keep changing it up. So they just want a lot of marketing options. This one, guys, E&O insurance.
Oh.
E&O.
E&O. Errors and omissions. So legal protection in case anybody tries to sue us if they're like, hey, that's a depiction of me in that movie. It's just our coverage. It's the music.
It's mostly music. A lot of times when people come after you, it's mostly the music in the movie.
But it could also be like art or creations of artists.
Yep, or locations, things like that.
Yes.
In order to get E&O insurance, you need to get a whole bunch of paperwork and documentation together. With the music, all the people who aren't Creative Commons artists, like we have signed contracts from, like Emmy and James, who wrote our end credit music, and I used another one of the songs of theirs. We have a Driftless Pony Club song in there.
Rob Scallon, some 1st of October.
Yeah, we've got some Bailiff. All those people signed contracts for us. And then with the Creative Commons stuff, which I found on Free Music Archive, there's a whole bunch of great stuff on there. You just gotta make sure you're getting the right rights. You gotta make sure that it's an attribution license or a public domain license or a Creative Commons 0 license. And make sure that you're crediting them exactly as they say, because that's part of the Creative Commons contract.
Yep.
And then I also emailed all of the bands through their website or just off of Free Music Archive being like, if you want me to change your name in the credits or whatever, just let me know. They would email back letting me know that credit's fine, or please take off like the very Creative Commons looking thing and just put our website, things like that. That was also me making sure that they were the ones who uploaded their music to Free Music Archive. That paperwork trail took a few days to kind of just like screenshot this, screenshot the email, screenshot everything into a folder, and it goes. For E&O insurance. They want the script, they want all your location releases, all of your talent releases, all of this stuff, a link to the movie so that they can watch it with insurance eyes. Copyrights. And
Copyrights for the script and for the film.
They also want, for the E&O insurance, a copyright and title search, where they take your title and they make sure that there's no copyrights or places that are gonna be like, hey, we already have the rights to that title.
Yeah, the report is really interesting.
Yeah, you get this another huge document of being like, here's where we searched, here's the closest things we found.
$400.
Yeah, it was like $500.
Yeah.
Once you've gotten all of that stuff to them, E&O insurance for a small feature like ours costs $4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Yeah.
This is the point at which we started looking into loans to complete this movie.
I had no idea what to save for this portion of the process.
Yeah, no, of course not. I've said over and over again that what we're used to doing is finishing something, uploading it to YouTube, and pressing publish.
Yeah.
That's it. Another deliverable is the chain of title. Mostly it's just the copyrights, and then it's the signed talent releases, stuff you need for the E&O.
Yeah, but the E&O is the insurance portion of it, and this is the legal document that says, I have the right to make this film. I had the right to use this script, and I've gotten the written consent of all of the actors for their portrayals of these characters.
And the crew. We own everybody's work.
Have contracts about what we paid people.
Any company that's gonna buy your movie to distribute it wants to make sure that you own what you're selling them.
Yeah.
Chain of title.
Yeah.
The other one that was very new to me and very important is a music cue sheet. I actually had to do this twice. I did it in one version, and then our international distributor was like, that's good. We actually need it in this format.
Yeah.
So I took that information and redid it all again. What a music cue sheet is a list of every music cue in the movie, both songs and score, the time codes for when they start, when they stop, their total time on screen, who wrote them, who performed it, and whether they're affiliated with ASCAP or BMI, and the percentage of ownership involved for those people. Luckily, there's a very handy site that lists ASCAP and BMI affiliations and percentages. We're having a thunderstorm here right now, and we just learned that our kiddo has a big fear of thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
March 14th, we finally get our first actual written contract from our North American distributor.
Yay!
Time to get a lawyer.
Yep.
March 19th, we talked to a wonderful person who becomes our lawyer. Quick Zoom call. She's great. She's the best.
So great.
We start looking for a loan.
We found out her rates, and we were like, we need more money.
Yes. Throughline went fishing for international distribution. They were like, we're probably gonna go talking to other people. I was like, great. But we had not heard about any part of that process. On March 27th, they sent us an email with a list who was interested. And I was like, what? And they were like, we think these are the best ones.
There was extremely clear winner.
So they were very motivated because they wanted us in their slate for the Cannes film market, right? They represent all sorts of types of movies.
This is amazing, but it also is like, this list of deliverables has deadlines associated with it.
All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, we would like to close this in the next 2 weeks so we can get materials together to go to the Cannes film market.
And while we're figuring out the legalities of it, could you be also just delivering these things?
Like working on at least these deliverables so we can get our stuff together. So that was March 27th. Then on March 29th, our lawyer gets in touch with our North American distributor's lawyer, and the real terms start getting nailed down. We probably did 3 back and forth lawyer to lawyer on that one.
Yes. Then with the UK distributor, they got into the minutia. They had a lot of back and forths.
So this is also where on April 6th, we got together and we did commentary tracks at Uptown Recording, because North American company is one of the few that still does Blu-rays for a lot of their titles. And if they end up doing a Blu-ray for our movie, I wanted to have everything possible that we could put on there. So
it was not a draw for you.
Yes, absolutely. We made a cast commentary track that day. We made a crew commentary track that day. A few days later, I also did a commentary track with just Craig and Rob.
I was very, very jazzed to die in a horror movie.
Whose death was more difficult?
I called the YouTuber commentary track, just kind of getting that perspective on the movie. I have a half-hour featurette that I made from us asking for financing through to the cast and crew screening, and then the outtakes as well. 24 minutes of outtakes.
I've watched all of these multiple times.
I watch it so much just because I want to relive it again. April 23rd, finally get the North American contract. I sign it. Signed.
That felt extremely good.
Same day, get the final contract from the UK. Signed.
Felt so good. All of these interactions are, there's good faith that everything's gonna come through, but this is our first rodeo. It felt really good to have signed contracts and be like...
to have signed a contract, then we're waiting for their signatures.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Remember waiting for their signatures?
Yeah,
okay.
That was less fun.
April 25th, UK signs their contract. May 2nd, there it is. Both contracts, US distribution, UK distribution, fully executed. We have distributors. It is May 2nd.
Yep.
2024. 9 in the morning. Wow, it's early in LA.
We've been working on this for 2 years.
It happened. We made it. Good job. There's our cat. 4 months to get to a signed contract.
Yeah.
But after that, I just kept getting materials to people as they needed them.
At this point in time, we've been working on marketing materials for our marketing package.
Yeah, so that they send to the VOD people.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how this all goes. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Right now, just days ago, got a report from the UK company with a list of all of the interactions they had with other international distributors, and they sold the movie to CIS territories. It's called the Commonwealth of Independent States. It's what was the USSR. That territory has now been sold, so Haunt Season will be distributed over there. Mm-hmm. They're also talking to a distributor in Latin America right now and somewhere else.
Casual 6 months. It's been dramatic.
Yes, very.
For us.
And this is a very long update, but I wanted to let you know all of the real things that happened. This is how you sell a movie.
Yeah.
These are the deliverables, these are the conversations you have. Movies probably get sold all sorts of ways, but this is how we did it.
This is another 3 specialties that people have entire careers in that we had no clue about and have been trying to learn on the fly.
Yeah, this is all information I've been waiting for years to find out. And you just can't find out anywhere.
We have to go watch something.
Yeah, we gotta go watch something, unwind from our day.
Yeah.
I hope you all are well, and next we gotta try to promote the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
When it comes out later this year.
Buckle up, guys.
Yeah, we're
gonna be obnoxious.
I am gonna be so obnoxious about this thing. I gotta come up with some ideas about how to sell this movie. I mean, I'm sure all our distributors have their own ideas, but this is something people on podcasts talk about a lot. None of this stuff. Even though you have a distributor and people who are also trying to actively make money from your movie, you have to do everything you can to try to promote it. Get the information out. Otherwise, how are people gonna see it?
Yeah.
I believe it. This might be the only one we ever get to do. I kind of doubt it. I think we'll end up doing this again. But if this is the only one, I'm giving it the best shot it's got. Including, we're gonna do a night marathon this year.
Cool.
Let's do a Scream Night Marathon this year.
Ooh, it's Screamier.
It's the most influential horror movie of my life.
Absolutely.
And
I'm so excited for you.
I know. I can't wait to do a Scream Night Marathon. Anyway, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.